What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Stephen A. Smith just came out and did one of the greatest ethers I've ever seen done on the internet. It lasted about an hour totally because he was talking about different things, but the part that he dealt with on Jason Whitlock was a masterpiece. It was even better than the Roland Martin takedown of Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, firstly, how did this beef start about? Jason Whitlock, who is in many cases a hater of many black people in general, not just blacks, but Deion Sanders, he hates on other journalists and broadcasters. And to be fair, Stephen A. Smith is also, which we can consider a lot of folks in the black society, he's a sellout. However, not to the level of Jason Whitlock, right? But Jason Whitlock also attacks, Stephen A. Smith. He didn't write his book, he's unprofessional, things like that. But Stephen A. Smith has been ignoring Jason Whitlock for over 10 years. 10 years, okay? Now, Jason Whitlock was saying that Stephen A. Smith can't write, he can't do this, he can't do that. Then Jason Whitlock got exposed when Stephen A. Smith released this particular comment.
But there's also another reason that I'd pick up this article. Let me read the graph to you that it says. Keep in mind, Stephen A. can't write. This staff, the one Whitlock was praising by way of warnings that if the writers and editors wouldn't align with his vision, he would get rid of them, was not the one Whitlock wanted. The Undefeated, because that was the name of the title before it ultimately became And Escape. The Undefeated was originally meant to attract the best and brightest young black talent in the country, with Whitlock's aim set so high that he at one point seriously tried to recruit the Atlantic's Ta-Nehisi Coates, the sharpest cultural commentator in the business today. As things worked out, though, those young writers comprehensively refused to work with him. So did big-name ESPNers like Howard Bryant, Jamel Hill, and Stephen A. Smith. I couldn't write, huh? While you were on Blaze TV, spewing that bullshit to people. Did you tell them that? Did you tell them how you stood outside of First Take begging me to talk to you? Did you tell them that once this same article in Deadspin came out, weeks later, you wrote a lengthy apology to me in an email, begging me to forgive you, pointing out how you were betrayed by this particular writer, so you know how I must feel that you betrayed me? Did you tell the folks that? You bitch. Did you tell them? You fat piece of shit. Did you tell them that?
So in that particular segment there, Stephen A. Smith is proving to the fact, based on that article, that Jason Whitlock indeed wanted to work with him, used to come by and, stalk him, as he would say, to come from First Takeover to work with him, although he refused to do so. But then also he's going to say that Jason Whitlock is phony and fake. He'll smile in your face and then do this behind your back.
You know what's out there writing stuff? Smiling in my face 1 minute, talking smack about me behind my back, and then ultimately writing it was him.
But this one is the most compelling argument that I saw, which he's saying here that Jason Whitlock would do anything for white people's approval.
Jason Whitlock pounced on it because that's what he does. You see, what he does is he's the one that puts himself in front of white folks. The white folks, not all white folks, not most white folks, but the white folks that dare we say may have a problem with black folks. He says, I'm your man. That's what he does. You think I'm lying? Ask ESPN. Ask Fox. Ask the Kansas City Star. Ask them all. Jamel Hill. Rob Parker. Chris Broussard. Skip Bayless. Yours truly. Along with a host of black folks all over this country. Every single one of them will confirm what the hell I'm saying about this piece of garbage.
Now, let me kind of sum all of this up, because Jason Whitlock is now at The Blaze, and ESPN is still where Stephen A. Smith is. He has his own YouTube channel doing very well, other avenues of making money. But it was Brother George that talked to me about how much hatred black men have in the corporate structure, right? Now, I noticed something very interesting. In these podcasts, Stephen A. Smith, you see Cameron and Mace, you see Shannon Sharp. On the entrepreneurial level, you see the black men on social media, Gilbert Arenas, Chad Ochocinco, Shannon Sharp with the nightcap. You see these black men, when they're creating their own environments, they're working together. They're not being as cutthroat. When they all know that they have so much money to gain, there's no reason to be a hater. But now when you get these guys involved in these situations where the whites own it, you're seeing that guys like Jason Whitlock will do anything to appease those whites who, in Stephen A's case, believe hate blacks. And that's why he said there's nothing worse than a white supremacist, but Jason Whitlock is even worse than that. Now, I want to make the case for all of this. And I don't like Jason Whitlock myself, but it is because of the new black media coming onto YouTube. I'm seeing people like, I talked about Club Shay Shay, Stephen A. Smith. These guys are able to curse, able to be themselves, able to get paid by doing their own thing. And because of that, we are seeing a different side of black entertainment, black networking, black collaboration, which Jason Whitlock has not gotten the hint. He's too busy selling out on The Blaze. And he's thoroughly jealous of these guys. He's jealous of all of them. He's a hater. And instead of being a kind of good person that can work well with people, he's been kissing butt. And now look who has more money. Shannon Sharp, hey, he does a lot of selling out too. But look at what he's been doing recently. Shannon Sharp has been working a lot with black media. And look at what he's able to garner. We're talking about Shannon Sharp right now. I would even say that Shannon Sharp is more popular now than in his days as a tight end. Think about, tight ends are not famous in the NFL. They're not. But Shannon Sharp is a household name based on what he's doing on Fox News and ESPN. But largely what he's doing in the black sector right now, it's amazing work. Jason Whitlock is jealous of that. He hated on Corey Holcomb in the same way. Anybody that is black doing independent things, Jason Whitlock has a severe problem with that. And I'm glad that these guys have called it out. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson, back at it again for another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Already put you for you. Just heard the bell. We're out.